CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Andrea Jock, and Tom Lucas.
Yes, spring is in the air. Spring has sprung. The grass is green. Oh, never mind.
Spring is sprung.
Yes.
Grass is riz.
Careful.
Wonder how your mortgage is.
Oh, wonder how your mortgage is. Yes, it's coming down. I'm doing
Very
fine.
clever.
Thank you. Bill Macklem is here. That's Billy. He is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. I understand before we begin the show that a couple of days ago, you guys are all giving a check to somebody.
Yes, we were. We're Richard Lowe and myself, who are coordinators with a bunch of guys for the RE/MAX annual hockey tournament that raises money for Children's Hospital. We're presenting a check to Children's Hospital for $4,000
And how did you raise the money?
through all the guys and through all our sponsors.
Nice.
Great. Good job,
stuff.
Bill.
So it worked really well.
And Andrea Jock is with us. Andrea, you're the co-host of the show. You deal in the Tri-Cities. How's real estate going out there these days?
Yeah, it's really busy again. As we all know, inventory is quite low. So we actually would love it if some more people were thinking about selling. So buyers will have some more options.
I heard a rumor that in places like Richmond and in Surrey, the sale of condos is picking up.
Yes,
Yeah.
and New West.
And U.S. too.
New West, I think New West is in a 20 or 30% increase in prices.
Pretty exciting.
It's coming.
I saw an article that New West is actually going to be rated one of the top most livable cities or attractive cities.
And there's lots of building going on out there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Brewery District, they're fixing that up.
A lot of character now.
And they're redoing the waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
So, this should be great.
I think perhaps maybe we should have a little tour and go down there one day.
Oh, yeah, I think that'd be a
Check
great
it out. I
idea.
think it'd be great. It'd be great. It's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650. Bill Macklem, the president of the Dominion Macklem Mortgages, is with us. He is the residence mortgage specialist on the show. Today we're going to be talking about mortgage updates. We'll get some prices of some money. And what else do you have for us, Bill?
We're going to talk, again, we're going to go over the reverse mortgages. There's a number of people that don't understand how this works. They hear the word reverse. That used to be in the old days an 8.5% interest rate, so everybody's shying away from it. Everybody, and I did too. And now with the new rules, the new way they're doing things, this is a tool that should be in all our toolboxes to help people of anybody that's over 55.
So I would imagine, too, if people get involved with a reverse mortgage, they think it's going to cost me a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
But it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
You can have an income stream, because there's two sides to it. You can have no mortgage, or you can have an income stream mortgage, which obviously evolves into a mortgage.
And so really you don't have to pay that money back until you sell the house or pass on and leave it to somebody and they sell it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be talking with one of your clients, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to talk to Tim Murphy today.
Okay, I'm looking forward to talking with Tim. Andrew, what else is going on the Radio Real Estate Show? What about our friend Finn?
Our radio real estate home handyman Finn Jensen says April is the month we all have to start thinking about transportation.
We're also going to be speaking about changes to the home with Mark Jock, who is the CEO of Mark Craft Homes. What do you think we should talk about to Mark today?
I think we are going to continue our conversation about getting your home ready for spring and summer. So I think we're going to be talking about how if you can add a heat pump, some air conditioning to your home.
Good idea. Good idea. Also, the Radio Real Estate Show, as you know by now, it's all about real estate. So if you miss anything on the program, you want to hear what Bill was talking about or Andrea was talking about or one of our special guests, please go to our website, which is radiorealestateshow.ca, and download one of our podcasts. Andrea Jock is coming up a little later on the program, right?
That's right. Monica Dina Briga, president of Mummy Maids, joins us, and today she's chatting about an environmentally friendly, made-at-home solution to take great care of...
Ring around the collar.
Ah.
Ring around the collar.
Men's shirts mostly.
No, not necessarily, because
No, not necessarily.
women can get that from their makeup.
Oh, that's right, too.
That's right, too. So ring around the collar is not a good thing to have. So we'll find out from Monica how to get rid of that. The Radio Real Estate News headlines are coming up. I'll be reading the headlines for the stories that made the news this past week. Andrea and Bill will give us their expert opinions. And Norm Holmes, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation, will be on the line. And we'll be talking to Norm a little bit later on the show today.
Our mortgage question of the week is coming up. If you have a question for Bill, please leave it on our website, radiorealestateshow.ca.
Bill, you're all dressed for spring. I like that. You're very spring looking. Tell me, if I want to borrow some money today, what it's going to cost.
That's going to be cheap.
Really?
It's going to be cheap.
Inexpensive.
Very inexpensive. And I say to people all the time, the concept we have a problem with when it comes to rates and interest rates and all that is that because we've gone through the 81 slump, which costs us a lot of money for a lot of people, and a lot of people that own homes have parents who remember the 30s when we had the other depression. So everybody's kind of got themselves to the fact that they should pay off their mortgage. There's nothing wrong with paying off your mortgage, but you want to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So I always say to people, if you pay off your mortgage, on your 60, by the time you get to 60 or 65, you don't actually have any cash asset. So you want to make sure that even though you're paying off your mortgage, you want to put some money somewhere else. That's why we talk to Norm Homes, because we want to take some money that you normally would be using to pay down your mortgage to put into a MIC fund so that you actually have a cash asset as well as an equity asset. So when it comes to these mortgage rates we're talking about, when you're looking at 289, 285, I mean, there's some fabulous rates out there at 259. You can get the money at that rate, which is a great rate. But when you talk to Norm Homes, he's talking 7 to 9% return on investment. So if people want to have some wealth in their life, they should be looking at the fact that if you can take money out of your home, let's say at 279 or 289, and invest it and get a return at 7 or 8%, there's nothing wrong with making a profit. So that's why you do it. So the interest rates today are phenomenal. Should take advantage of them every chance you get. Don't take out too much, but take out enough so that you have a good lifestyle.
I think my parents would have been good candidates to talk to either you or to Norm, because they're the type of people that figured you pay off your mortgage and you've done what you have to do. You've got your house paid for, and they can't kick you out now, right?
Exactly.
But they could have used that money in a house.
Well, how many times we've heard people say, you know, if I hadn't paid down my mortgage as quickly as I did, I could have bought the house beside me at maybe, let's say, $300,000 back in the early 2000s, which is now worth $800,000.
Well, you know what?
What an investment that would have been.
I'm just thankful that they didn't sell it, that they left it to me.
Really?
And I sold it.
very
Okay,
good.
yes. Radio Real Estate Show. Thank you, Bill. What's coming up, Andrea?
In our next segment, Bill answers your mortgage questions of the week. We examine the radio real estate headline news, and we speak with Mark Jock, CEO of Markcraft Homes, about the renos that add value and comfort to your home.
And there are a lot of them out there, right?
Yes.
We're going to be covering them all. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house.
Yes, we are.
What is the name of the program?
Seattle 650.
The name of the program?
Oh, really? We do real estate.
On
Seattle 650.
Smooth and Easy.
Seattle 650.
We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
I don't know. Every time I hear that tune, I expect Perry Como to come to the studio.
So do I.
Yeah, free letters. We got it. Well, every time we play that song, you put on a different sweater. You got your spring sweaters on now. Your sleeves are getting a little shorter.
They are.
Yeah.
And it's a loop type knit.
And don't
So
forget,
it's
next
open.
week, too, you got to be wearing your Easter outfits, too.
Oh.
So have you got a nice Easter bonnet you could wear?
I've got a few.
Do you? I'll bet you do. With peak caps, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she probably wears a Easter bonnet on backwards.
Exactly.
I hope not. Anyway, it's time for the Radio Real Estate Show question of the week. For Bill Macklem, you have a question.
Our question this week is from Annabelle Jackinson of Pitt Meadows. Annabelle would like to know what her monthly mortgage payment includes.
Thanks, Andrew. That's a great question from Annabelle. Your mortgage payment normally includes your principal and interest. So when you borrow money, you have, first off, what happens is you always pay in arrears. So you always pay 30 days after you get the money. You can't, it's by law in Canada, you don't pay the interest before you get the money. You have to have the use of the money and then you pay your interest charge. So principal and interest. And what happens is that if you have a 25-year mortgage, you'll pay less interest, more principal. If you have a 30-year amortization, you pay a little bit less principal, more interest. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to weigh the balances of how this actually works. So what they used to do is they used to have mortgage payments, principal and interest, plus taxes. But more and more lenders are trying to get out of the fact of paying taxes because it's such a costly event and it's caused them a lot of headaches. And as we know, banks are not making very much money, so they're trying to reduce some of their costs. So for any lender that doesn't do that, I always advise the clients to go to the municipality and give them a void check and let them take the taxes out on a monthly basis. And that's a benefit two ways. Number one, you're paying taxes every month, which is a great thing. So you don't get caught July 1st to pay this massive amount. Secondly, if you happen to be away on holidays and somebody else is looking after your taxes, you could be late and pay a $500 late charge. But if you're making payments to the municipality, you don't have to worry about that because they have the money already.
So in other words, you're saying if you asked your mom to be good enough to go down and pay your taxes for you while you and the family are down in Cabo and mom forgets, you could be on the hook for a $500 fine?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Late charge.
Not good. Mom, pay those taxes for me.
Exactly.
So that's one way around it.
Yep. Go to the municipality, get them done that way. It's just as easy. It's the same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, Andrea, if somebody would like to get a hold of Bill during the week, what should they do?
For expert mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, Mac.com, or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
This is my house, my big
Did you want to sing along with that song, Andrew, or what?
I just think it's great to watch you guys dancing.
Well,
Both
we
of
like to
you
dance.
two.
Marky Mark likes to dance too, don't you, Marky Mark?
Not necessarily.
Oh my goodness! It's Marky Mark, the dancing fool. Boy, oh, you really know how to dance, man. I'm telling you, I've never seen that before.
Well, how did you know that?
A little birdie told me. I can't say too much. We're speaking with Mark Jock. He is the CEO of Markcraft Homes, a wonderful company. You've been building homes for quite some time, huh?
Oh, a number of years now. Yeah, I think we started in the early '80s. So I'm dating myself.
Why? Nobody else will? Your wife won't let them, will they? Will she?
Oh, well, there you go.
What were you doing before this, man?
He was a realtor.
You know what? I think I was enjoying my life.
Oh, Dad.
He was a realtor?
Actually, I did, before that it was real estate. I was involved in real estate early 70s. And then kind of got involved with, actually a company called New West Developments. It was Canada's, one of Canada's largest builders, certainly on the West Coast. And that kind of evolved into probably my passion for building. So, it was an evolution of things. And we started our first company in the early 80s.
Wow, it kind of helps, I guess, when you put the real estate background together with the building background. The two of them sort of go hand in hand.
Right. Yeah, it all helped, It all helped. Yeah.
So now your daughter works with us on the show. Your daughter is just a wonderful person in real estate, but we have to teach her how to build a home now.
Well, she's learning as we go, We have our weekly meetings, and although she's part of the marketing end of the equation, she's certainly is understanding the process of the building process, which I'm sure we're going to get into down the road.
Mark, I don't know. I gave her a hammer today. She hit Bill Macklem on the head with it.
Straight? Right on?
Right on. Oh, she nailed him pretty good, if you pardon the term.
That's good. Congratulations, Andrea.
So, Andrea, we're going to talk to your dad, Mark, today. What are we going to chat about?
Yeah, well, we want to continue on from what we were speaking about last week and on the how to prepare your home for a summer renovation with spring and summer coming up. So, Mark, what I'm thinking, something that you can maybe fill us in on is if somebody has an older home and it gets really hot for them, can they incorporate a heat pump into the home? Is that a hard renovation to do, to add some air conditioning, or how do you cool the house down?
That's a very good question, Andrea. It can be complicated, but the simple answer is yes. You can incorporate a heat pump. However, there's a number of factors that should be checked on before you do that. Once again, everything comes down to cost. Isn't that a drag? Huh? But, here we are talking about, cooling your home, but obviously there's, money involved. But you want to make sure that your electric panel has a capacity of accepting about a 30 to 40 amp service, because that's what it's going to drain from your existing service to incorporate a heat pump. So there's electrical. Your existing furnace, if you've got the old style furnace with a pilot light, well then that's not going to fly. That won't be compatible with a new heat pump system. You need a mid to high efficiency furnace. And then the ducting. A good mechanical contractor can come in and analyze your existing ducting size to make sure that the new flow, the new pressure that would be created with a heat pump will be able to have a balanced system. So those are three crucial items to kind of analyze to see, how the costing falls out with the cooling and heating system with a heat pump. You get cooling as well as heating, so it's a dual system.
Well, Mark, so I don't know what a heat pump looks like. I don't know whether that's the size of a furnace or is that size of a car battery. What's the size of this thing?
Okay. Well, they range depending on the demand of the size of home. But if you've noticed those kind of like, they're like a square metal box, which they sit on the outside of a home, generally on a concrete pad.
Okay.
And they can be up to, 2 by 2, kind of 2 by 3, or 2.5 by 2.5. And size will increase depending on the requirements of the square footage of the home.
So you don't have to put it in the basement of the house.
No. They have to be outside because they're drawing. The whole concept is like refrigerator. When it's cold outside, they're taking up to about -2. They can capture that cold air, compress it, and change it into hot air. And so you're heating your home in the cold days, and when it's really hot, it's doing the reverse. It's taking that, drawing in that hot heat, condensing it, cooling it, and distributing it through your house, through your furnace system.
Kind of sounds like this show, there's a lot of hot air on it.
yeah, no end to that.
You were mentioning cost before. Is it very expensive to have this done?
Let's say for a 2,000 square foot home, a heat pump, and again, you have to look at all the factors I talked about earlier. Maybe $6,000 up to $12,000 for a 5,000 square foot home.
Would this eventually save the purchaser some money?
Well, that's the whole idea, because I mean you're reducing your natural gas. If you're running on natural gas, you're reducing that fuel to a negligible amount of money. However, your electrical, the offset is that your electrical expense will go up, but your fuel costs are reduced by up to 80-85%.
Let me ask Bill a question. Billy, if somebody would like to have this done at their house, could they come to a person like you and get mortgage money for this?
Absolutely.
Oh, all right.
Any of the renovations that Mark's talking about, we can help them.
So anything that Mark is talking about on the show, they could come and see the mortgage guy, and he can take care of them, mortgage person?
We were talking about renovating the kitchen last week. We're talking about heat pumps this week. You know, we talked to someone like Mark, say, okay, Mark, give us an overall cost, because we're going to do one thing. We must do it all.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you money to get it done anyways.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. And, you incorporate, we touched on it last week, planning ahead is so important, So if you're going to be doing a renovation and you have to change duct sizing and everything, and the walls are down, it's probably a good idea you address this at the time. So you're not dealing, again, with dual expenses down the road.
So maybe if somebody's thinking about having some changes done to their condo or their townhouse or their single-family home, call Mark Jock first. Mark, what's your telephone number?
604-461-2560.
All right, the number again?
461-2560.
And it's 604 in front of that. Call Mark. He'll come over, have a cup of coffee. You'll ask them all sorts. I guess you have to ask a lot of questions in your job, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. and then the wife has an order. Like, don't forget milk on the way home, right?
That's right. Yeah, you bet.
And I understand, too, that sometime in the summer that we're all coming over to your place for a backyard barbecue. You haven't heard about this yet.
That sounds like a great idea, because we just finished off our decking last
speaking
year.
of backyards, and we're going to,
All right, well, if we don't do it before next week, we'll get together next week for Easter. I'm bringing the bunny. Bill brings the eggs. What Andrea, you want to bring something for the dinner?
Oh, you know my cooking skills.
Oh, I know your cooking skills, yeah. And Mark, do you think you can get Mrs. Jock to cook something up for the big party?
I'm sure we can twist her arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the guy usually, unfortunately, wearing the apron, but I don't mind that.
Hey, I hear you're a good cook. I'll talk to you next week.
You bet.
Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Mark Jock of Mark Craft Homes. What a nice guy, and he's got some good points there.
He does. He's very good.
So listen, someday again, do you know Mark's number off by heart?
I know his cell phone number.
Okay.
604-780-2020.
Okay, once again, that is?
604-780-2020.
All right, now coming up on the Radio Real Estate Show, we'll be chatting about the headlines that made the news this past week. We're also going to be speaking with Norm Holmes. Norm is the Vice President of Pioneer West. We'll talk about some great investment opportunities.
This is Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing with our mortgage expert, Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
CL 650.
Well, judging from what Bill Macklem has said, if you were to talk to Norm Holmes, the Vice President of Pioneer West, you could become a rich person too, right, Billy?
Absolutely.
Norm, hi, how are you, my friend?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Welcome back to the program. Some of our listeners, Norm, as you know, have never been involved with mortgage investments, and we were just wondering on the program today if that would be a good choice for them. What do you think about that?
I think that's an excellent question. I always tell people that they should only invest in something they understand and can be involved in an investment decision. For most people, real estate is something that they're already familiar with and they can easily understand. In order to invest well in mortgage investments, a good understanding of real estate and evaluating properties is fundamental.
What sort of things are involved in evaluating real estate?
The typical criteria for mortgage investments is the same as it would be for realtors. How good is the location? How does the price value compare with similar homes in the area? What is the condition of the property? How long would it take to sell the property in the current real estate market?
Well, don't you need some tools of an expert to answer those questions?
Fortunately, mortgage investments come with appraisals. So this information is already found in the appraisal prepared by a professional, but we still encourage investors to do their own evaluation. You can do a Google search of the property address. You can go to realtor.ca or mls.ca and search for compatible properties in the neighborhood currently listed for sale as a comparison. You can also call a local real estate agent, and they're usually happy to give you their opinion about a price range for the particular property.
That sounds like a lot of work and a lot of phone calls.
It is, but it's better to do a little more work at the beginning and have safe investments than and that way you're involved in selecting the mortgages. It's better to do that than just trust someone blindly.
You know what? That sounds like really good advice, Norm.
Yes, and the property valuation is only part of the evaluation process. Next week we'll share how to evaluate the exit strategy of the investment. This is Norm Holmes of Radio Real Estate.
Thank you, Norm. Now, if you want to get some more information from Norm, give him a call now, 604-987-1420. That's 604-987-1420. Or visit pioneerwest.com. That's pioneerwest.com. It's time now for the Radio Real Estate News headlines. I'll be reading the headlines, and Bill and Andrea will give us their thoughts on the situation. First of all, property disclosure statements protect both the buyer and the seller in a real estate transaction. Let's go to our realtor first.
Yes, absolutely. Every time that I have a listing, the property disclosure statement is so important. And the advice that we give our clients is whatever it is, disclose, disclose, disclose. You have to. It's going to save you, so much trouble from down the road. For example, if you say the hot tub's not working, or that, don't try to hide anything, because an inspector's going to come, they're going to find it, and they're going to say, well, now the buyer's going to come back and feel upset. But if they knew right off the bat that the hot tub wasn't working, it's in the beginning of the negotiations,
Absolutely.
and no, it's not a big deal. But if something almost feels like it was hidden, or a seller's trying to not disclose something, then buyers get really nervous.
So it's the same thing as going to your doctor or your priest. Like, don't leave anything out.
No, tell them everything.
Tell them
everything.
everything.
Well, I know I've had a client that bought a property, and these people hadn't disclosed the fact that they had a leak down the sidewalls of the house. Didn't say anything about it. They went through their summer when it's dry, obviously. So 6 months later, they found out they had this leak, so they had it inspected, and that inspector found out that there had been previous leaks. And so they were actually able to go back to the sellers and sue them for the cost of getting that repaired.
Yeah, there's just no point in not disclosing. But had they disclosed that prior, then it's up to the buyer to accept it or not.
Exactly.
But now the buyer's upset because they're finding something that they weren't aware of.
Yep.
So always disclose.
All right. Commercial real estate sales have reached a 5-year high in the Lower Mainland. What's going on?
Well, first off, there's not a lot of commercial property being built.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, our Asian friends have determined that they can buy commercial property here in Canada at a reasonable price and take over. So what's happening is as these properties come up for sale, there's quite a number of people already looking at the properties to buy them. So they're snapping them off the market as quickly as they come up.
I know in South Surrey, Bill, there's a whole lot of commercial building going on.
Absolutely.
192nd Avenue around there?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember that park. There's a Campbell Park is all in that area. Mm-hmm. And they're using those tilt-up buildings. And I don't really know anything about tilt-up buildings, but they're really cool. It's like a mechanical set when we were kids. It's a concrete slab.
No.
And they have little hooks on them.
And they
raise them up.
No.
And then they drop down a metal girder to connect the one side to the other side. And they're up. Like they can be up in a matter of days, let alone months.
Who carries the crazy glue?
Well, I've been around there a couple times.
I see. If somebody wants to get involved in commercial real estate and they need a mortgage, could they go and see a person like you? They can,
absolutely.
Too.
Matter of fact, I was just having coffee in Ladner yesterday, and one of my longtime friends who used to work with Envision Credit Union, who was a commercial lender, let me know he's done with Van City. So we have a slew of people that we already know, and these people come to us and say, like, do you have any commercial clients that need some money?
So commercial or residential, go see Bill.
Or residential.
All right. Home buyers are moving out of the city area. Escalating home prices are pushing residents, I guess, out to the Fraser Valley. You know that. You got somebody near and dear to my heart out in the Fraser Valley, didn't you?
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
And she's happy.
Well, I'm glad she's happy. No, it's a lovely place. Just kidding.
When they build that extra lane on number 1 highway, you're going to get out there so fast.
Really?
so fast.
All the way up to Langley.
Yeah.
Langley is on fire right now. It is so busy out there. The
Is it?
amount
Yeah.
of building and new developments and it's
Even Maple Ridge.
Yep.
Even Maple Ridge is
Homes
booming
now
right
are
now.
up to 800,000.
Yeah. I know that people are looking at Mission
Yeah.
and now looking out at Chilliwack.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We mentioned before, too, 192 Campbell, the Campbell Valley area, there's lots of commercial building going on, but there's a lot of residential building going on, too. Townhouses, condos.
Townhouse, condos.
The way I see it, 10, 20 years from now, Vancouver to Chilliwack with the SkyTrain system, we're going to be one big city. It's going to make no
Well, that's the way it
difference.
should have been.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to have a rail thing that used to make the trip back and forth, and well, long before we were born?
I heard about it.
I heard about it. Why they ripped it up, I don't know. Limiting the size of new houses was considered, but the city of Vancouver has backed down from that idea. Bill, you sad? Yeah?
Sad. You know, there's a reason why there's rules and regulations. Rules and regulations, they don't apply to just those people that want to adhere to the rules. They're for everybody. And you have a square footage that you're allowed to put on a property, and that should be the maximum. I mean, I'm hearing people asking for adjustments to the zoning bylaws. So let's say they're on Scott Road or 152 Street, and these are now major thoroughfares, and everybody got setbacks, and they don't want to adhere to the setback. Well, why not? The reason why there's a setback is so when they actually build the next lane of highway or road on that, they actually have the room to do so. And when you ask for an abeyance on that, you're actually causing problems for future development.
All right, now we're talking about the big homes. Next week on the Radio Real Estate News headlines, I think we'll talk about small homes. I think you can pick up that. Okay, now here's one for fun. It says, an auto elevator brings new meaning to the expression door to door. In Miami, of course it's Miami, there's a 132-unit Porsche tower. Okay? Residents can park their car right at their condo's front door. By the way, the project is almost sold out. You can just drive your car in and drive your car up.
We know what that is. That's the ultimate luxury experience. And in a place like Miami, people like the
But what if you don't have a Porsche?
Oh, the people buying in there, I probably would have Porsches.
Everybody in Miami is rich.
I would probably say so. So that's very cool.
You know what? I was thinking about buying a condo, too, and that's the only thing that has really stopped me.
You said that.
I did. I told you off air. I live in a townhouse right now. I'm thinking about making a move. I'm playing with it. But the thing that's stopping me right now is having to leave my car 13, 14, 15 stories down.
Why does it? You have separation anxiety from your
I
car?
have the separation anxiety thing from it. My car quiets when it's not with me. But if I could bring it up to the condo, that would be cool.
And expensive, though.
Until she started leaking oil, then I'd be in big trouble,
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
it? But so that's the headline news. We do this again next week?
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Okay, that's Radio Real Estate Headline News. And coming up on our program in the next segment, we've got something very special happening.
In our next segment, Monica Dino Briga, president of Mummy Maids, talks to us about an all-natural, made-at-home, environmentally friendly cleaning solution and a great way to treat a ring around the collar.
Jeez. So for more real estate information, coming right up on Vancouver's original on-air open house.
Bill, that's ring around the collar, not ring on the finger. It's a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello there. It's Tom Lucas with the co-host Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing, Bill Macklin, president of Dominion Macklin Mortgages, and our producer is Dwayne Bishop. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650.
CIL 650.
The clean up woman, but she's tough. I mean, she really cleans up.
It's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy CIL 650. And time now for our eco-friendly cleaning person. Here's Monica Dino Briga. She is the founder and the president of Mummy Maids. Hello, Monica.
Ring around the collar is not very nice, and it's not pretty either, whether it's makeup, sweat, or just plain dirt. To remove ring around the collar on your favorite dress, shirt, or blouse, draw over the stain with a piece of white chalk. Let it soak up the grease for a few minutes, then dust off the excess chalk and launder as usual. No more ring around the collar. Saved yourself a few bucks from a trip to the dry cleaners with the results that you'd be proud of. This is Monica Dinabriga for Radio Real Estate.
Mummy Maids will clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959, 604-533-4959, or visit mummymaids.com. That's mummymaids.com.
Thank you, Andrea. It's the Radio Real Estate Show on CIL 650. Go to our website, which is radiorealestateshow.ca. You can listen to one of our podcasts. Listen to the old shows, right?
Well, I want to listen to that one again, because did she really say use chalk?
Yes, she did.
That's what I thought she said.
Well, now, that's a good point, Bill. If you're not too sure, go back and listen to it again, right?
Yeah.
RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
What a great tip.
I noticed you were taking Notes?
Yeah, like chalk. Something
Chalk.
like chalk.
Chalk. Question is, where does one buy chalk these
I don't
days?
know. I thought she was going to use chalk to kind of give an outline of where the stain was.
Well, like this.
Yeah.
Or more like this, maybe. And I'm just wondering, is that white chalk or blue chalk or brown chalk or gray chalk?
I would think white chalk.
I would think white chalk.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, Monica will be back with us again next week on the
She's got
show.
some great tips.
Well, especially for Easter, she's got a dandy.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, I heard that business is up in the Tri-Cities. SkyTrain's
is.
moving in there. People are moving in. People are happy.
Yeah, and we even just got an accepted offer on our $2.5 million listing, the one on Coombe I was talking about in Belcara, and yeah, inspections happening today. So, it's nice to see things starting to move again in the higher price points.
Tell us a funny story. Don't mention any names or any positions because
I don't think it's that funny right now.
sacred.
No,
it's funny. No, it's funny. It's funny. Come on, tell me. You were having a home inspection done before the show.
Yeah.
And you asked the home inspector not to go somewhere.
The attic, and something happened, and my business partner's there, and something to do with the sprinklers are going off right now. So I don't know what's happening right now.
I see. So is the fire department coming?
I don't know. It's not that funny right now.
Did you want to go and meet a fireman or anything? Or
well, since you're talking about ring on the finger, Bill, yeah, maybe.
You could pass out in the attic, and maybe he could fire lift you out of there.
One day.
Andrea, what kind of people are moving out to the Tri-Cities? Younger people, older people, families?
Yeah, we're getting a whole mix of everybody. We are seeing people coming from, like we talked about, moving out of Vancouver, North Van, West Van, coming out to the Tri-Cities, particularly Port Moody. Everybody. I think that it's a wonderful place for people to call home. There's lots of things to do in the Tri-Cities.
Would you have Munson Lake?
Yeah. It's a beautiful lake. We have White Pine Beach. I was there the other day. Honestly, it was so spectacular. I took a little walk with my dog over the this walkway with a little bridge, and it was the most peaceful thing I've ever seen. Like, Ella didn't really want to walk with me. I had to,
Is it getting crowded because it's such a great place to move to?
You would think, but I was actually really peaceful that night. So, yeah, I had this gorgeous mountains in the background and overlooking a pretty serene lake.
Wow.
And, I looked around, I'm so blessed to live here. How can I live in such a beautiful place like this? And
we're very fortunate.
We are so lucky.
Let me get this right. You took little Fifi for a walk?
My little puppy, yeah.
Little Fifi, huh?
Ella, her name's Ella. But she's funny. She's a
Fifi.
stubborn little thing. She dug her heels in because she has her favorite park and would not walk. Like, I had to pick her up and carry her and take her to the other old orchard.
Did you say your dog's name is Ella?
Ella.
And you said she's stubborn?
Oh, she's stubborn. What is it? Like mother, like
yeah, I got you.
daughter?
So people moving into the Tri-Cities. Again, where are the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, so we've got Port Moody, Port Coquitlam, and Coquitlam.
And do you have to be artsy-fartsy to get in there or what?
No, but there is a nice culture. It is a nice art heritage in Port Moody.
Well, don't you have a bunch of brew pubs, micro brewers?
Yeah.
That's a huge thing right now.
Apparently, there's what 5 or 6 of them in that one area?
Yeah, we've got Yellow Dog and Parkside and Moody Ales, and it's a ton of fun.
Sounds like fun. So the easiest way to get to the Tri-Cities, I guess, is just drive out to Coquitlam and head down. What is that road there?
Sorry, Barnett or which?
Barnett
Yeah,
Highway.
you can take the Barnett or the
there's
number
North
one.
Road and there's
North Road.
Lougheed Highway goes out there.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to find.
Very easy. And now the
Ioko.
Ioko.
That's what I was trying to.
Love Ioko.
So now
What a
the
neat name.
Sky Train, you can stop at all these places. So,
Really?
So tell me something. I'm always interested. So the SkyTrain now serves that area, right?
Yeah.
So how can they say in the publication of the newspapers that the ridership on the SkyTrain has increased in that area when they never had it?
Good question. I don't know, but it is.
We'll be talking to one of your clients in a few minutes, eh, Billy?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Mr. Tim Murphy.
And what's Tim doing?
Tim's a builder. He builds for a lot of people, and he's helping his son buy his first home.
All right. We're going to be continuing our discussion about buying homes and helping out our children with Bill and his client on Radio Real Estate. Andrea, what's going on?
This is Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing with Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650.
I remember there's an old house for sale, and the wife said to me, we got to go see Bill Macklem. So, Bill, we went and saw Bill. Bill made it possible. We moved into the house. Now, you not only helped me and my friends, you also helped a gentleman by the name of Tim.
Yes, Tim Murphy, a good friend of mine, probably known him for 25 years.
What's Tim doing?
Tim's a builder in the Valley and does a great job. He looks after these clients. You know, he's got a whole team of people. And so, and his son is working with him as well. And so he's a great guy. I just saw him last night. And we were talking about some of the things that he wants to do. And so I said, why don't you come on the radio show? We'll talk about how you're helping your son buy his first house.
Tim, thank you for doing that. How are you?
I'm doing great today, guys. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good, too. It's almost Easter time. You want to come to our Easter egg hunt?
It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. So you've known Bill Macklem now for quite some time, I take it, eh?
Oh, yeah. Well, 20-plus years I've known Billy. And, I'm blessed to have someone with his knowledge to help me get through this first step with my child there, so...
Now, what exactly are you doing, Tim?
Well, my son, I'm getting him started early. He's a young fella. He's only 21, but he's been working for a while. And, like most guys, he needs a little boost to get things going. And not everybody wants to look at the young people, based on their income and, experiences and stuff. And, yeah, we got a place we set up out in Harrison for him. And I was lucky to deal with Bill because, with the experience Bill has, like, he's worked in situations where money was easy to get at 5%, and everybody could buy a place, even if he worked at 7-Eleven. And he's worked through the times now where it's very stringent to get any kind of funds based on the price of these properties, and that's spreading into the Valley area because in Chilliwack as well, prices have gone up double probably in the last year and a bit.
Mm-hmm. So, Tim, I hear that you're moving your son Liam out to the Valley, but I didn't hear anything about you making that move too. Is that on purpose, or?
Actually, the truth of the matter is I actually have a property out there already myself.
I see.
That I'm using for the weekends, but currently I'm doing some custom work in Burnaby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have some clients I'm working for here. So, no, I think that the Valley and the discussion that obviously I had with Bill prior to doing anything is definitely the place to be looking at. A lot of people are moving out that way, and has a lot to offer. The infrastructure is a lot better out there.
So, Tim, would you definitely say if somebody's thinking about making a move like this, or you have any questions at all, to go and see your local mortgage broker? Go see Bill Macklem.
Well, I talked to some people, and I know Bill for a long time, and I wouldn't go with anyone else but him because he's got a lot more creativity. He's got a lot more networking as far as people he can deal with. And his knowledge, like I said before, to be able to work through some of the bureaucracies we have to deal with in this province made my purchase possible for sure. And just dealing with them, like you want to talk to people that can give you the straight answer, or do you want to talk to somebody who'll give you a song and dance? So,
Tim, did you go into his office on 24th?
I went to his office and got some homemade cookies.
That's it. That's it. The cookies. That's worth the price of admission right there, isn't it?
Well, he always tries to push me off and says, "Oh, I'll meet you halfway. I'll meet you in Fort Coquitlam." I said, "To hell with that. I'm coming for the cookies."
They're coming for the cookies. I like that.
Never mind anything else. I want the full package. I want the service and the cookies.
His mom makes great cookies, doesn't she?
Oh, that's the best, buddy. You can't go wrong with that.
So, Tim, you had some of Mrs. Macklem's cookies. You had some coffee. You sat down with Bill in his office. What kind of questions did you have for Bill when you first met him?
See, the thing that we had to deal with was with my son's income, right? And that's the challenging part with these young guys that are out there. And, a lot of people were just like, look at that, and that's it. Okay, you're not qualifying. So with the network that Bill has, with all the people in his team he has in his office, they were able to put together a package and send it out to the lenders that was able to get us approved, which prior to that was, like I will say, impossible pretty much, right? So the questions that we had for him is, we want to use this as a property where we can generate revenue too. So he was explaining to me, to keep your down payment as minimal as possible. You can write off your interest rate off the mortgage, and there's a ton of write-offs, and those are things that I wasn't really privy to until we sat down, and it made a lot of sense, right? Because we're pretty active in real estate, so we like to make purchases throughout the year. So there's a good plan there.
All right, now Tim, you said you're doing some work closer to the West Coast here. What sort of project are you working on now?
I'm working on a custom home, actually in Burnaby, for my client. He owns a excavation company, so we're putting a big home on a property here. About it's a 5,000 square foot home with a pool, and it's a full package.
So it sounds like you're going to be busy for the next little while.
Well, I think I was just talking to another client on the west side, and, you know, you hear all the stuff about the real estate market being a little bit on the quieter side, but, you know, you can't find a lot over there, and stuff's moving pretty quick. So I think this weather was a big deterrent for everybody to start.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, listen, Tim, I know you want to get back there to your purchases, and you want to get back to your son because God knows what he's doing there. He's got all those girls in the house. You better...
You better be standing on a roof framing somewhere in East Vancouver right now. He's going to be catching all mighty yell.
You're a riot. You're a riot, man. Thank you so much for talking with us, Tim, and have a happy Easter. We'll talk again about how the project's going.
No, I appreciate that. It'd be great. And like I say, all the best. Thanks for having me on. And if you're looking to get something done, give Bill a call because you won't be disappointed.
We'll pass along your phone number. Tim, thank you so very, very much.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay,
Appreciate
cheers.
it.
Have a good day, guys. Take care.
You can roll the cost right into your loan. It's a small down payment that won't make you more. Now I can have that home of my dreams with the granite counters and the decorative beams. Ask for the butt loan.
Ask for the butt loan.
Pre-approved for the butt loan to help you find that house that's perfect, but just needs a little TLC. Contact your butt loan specialist at 800-466-LOAN or visit us online at amerifirst.com.
You ever do that? Somebody comes into your office, I want the butt loan. You say, well, I'll give you a loan, but.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but.
But
what kind of people, why do people get turned down for mortgages these days? Do they still get turned down? I guess so.
They do.
Yeah?
They do. Tim is correct. You know, we're not all that creative.
Mm-hmm.
We just understand the business better.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of cases, we know the rules of the lender that we're dealing with better than the people that are actually enforcing the rules. And we'll ask them all the questions because our role is to get the deal done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to find a way to get an answer that's going to be suitable to my client, that's going to make some sense, and also be good for the lender as well because we use these lenders on a regular basis, so they're part of our team. Like we never do anything to the lender. We never misinform them. We don't hide things from them.
Mm-hmm.
We let them know exactly what's going on, so we can make decisions together. So that I know that nothing's going to come back on my client, and nothing's going to come back on us either.
What do you say to grandma who might be like maybe in her 80s? She's almost 90 years old, and she's always dealt with the bank. I have a nice young man I go and see at the bank, and I go, yes, Grandma, that's true. He's a nice young man, but he's just trying to sell you bank products, right?
We've been not brainwashed, but we certainly have been persuaded that the bank is looking after your best interest. And so you look at yourself, so if that's really true, then why are you having personal loans at 6 and 8% and giving me 0.1% on my deposits? I mean, like the people don't ask those kind of questions. The other thing is they go to a bank because the bank has the structure, the bricks and mortar, and so they think that those people in there they understand the business of banking. They don't. A lot of times you come to some young person that's a bank loans officer, doesn't own a property, might have a car loan, maybe have a student loan.
And Bill, isn't it true that if you're dealing with your certain banks, whether it's RBC or TD, each bank has their own set of rules and policies. There's no flexibility there.
No.
So what one bank can do versus another, I mean, when you're working with a broker, you have options to all different.
We probably have close to 60 lenders. Not that I use them all, but we have close to 60 lenders.
Options.
And what people don't understand is that, let's say, for example, you're going to go to Scotiabank or TD Bank or RBC. So you go to them, and so they have to go to their head office. That branch does not approve the deals. They have to go to their head office. So that branch might only do $10 or $15 million a year. When we go to the head office to get our approvals. We don't go to a branch. And we may do $100 million. So it's likely that they're going to look at our files faster than they're going to look at your files.
Get expert mortgage information online by visiting BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com, or by calling Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Let's make Andrea really work. What's coming over the next segment of the program, Andrea?
In our next segment, we'll hear from radio real estate home handyman Finn Jensen, who says April is here and our minds are turning to transportation.
This is Bill Macklin, President of Dominion Macklin Mortgages, with Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing. Producer Dwayne The Rock Bishop and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650. I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
I'm fixing a hole in the roof where the rain comes in. Kind of an appropriate tune for this past week. It's been wet for the last little while. Crazy. And this is spring. Next weekend is Easter.
I remember when I first came out here in '94.
From
Edmonton.
I thought you were going to say when.
Well, I know what that's long. Okay. And I remember going out to a conference in Victoria, and guys are coming out from Toronto to go golfing, and I'm kind of going like, really? It's February.
Well, you see, you have to consider the source, Bill. Those are people from Toronto.
Yes.
Okay.
And but the other thing, though, was that they had flowering crabs in February.
I've never seen crabs that have flowers.
Flowering crab?
Crab apple trees.
Different kind of. Okay. It's Radio Real Estate time now for the home handyman. His name is Finn Jensen. He's coming down from the roof. Finn, hello there.
Traditionally, April is the month when BC turns its attention to transportation. If it has wheels, it will get attention. Much speculation is devoted to this phenomena. What could it be? Is it a type of people, or maybe we never got over the first bumper car rides at the P&E? Whatever it turns out to be, one thing is certain. We possess the most desirable, the most varied collection of automobiles anywhere. And not only cars and motorcycles, bicycles too are present in all its forms, from the high-tech, high-end to beautiful vintage European and North American models, lovingly maintained, lashed to poles and trees around the city, provides a glimpse of the character of the population. It would seem that we enjoy things constructed with a flair, things appealing as well as useful. And that sense must have been present from day one when the first roads were laid to the earliest neighborhoods with the best views. Those early surveyors must have been impressed. There were hardly an area without some unique aspect. And so it followed with nice homes, open spaces and parks, trees, and everything that blooms anywhere. So perhaps it's where we live that fuels our passion for everything beautiful and useful. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
For your spring maintenance, call Gentech Mechanical Installations 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740. And ask to speak with Finn.
You know, Finn just mentioned bumper cars, and I remember the P&E as a kid. Did you ever go to the bumper cars?
Love the bumper cars.
Bill, did you ever go to the bumper
Who doesn't love the bumper cars?
Bumper cars. That's what produced. Dwayne, did you go to the bumper cars? Yes.
Not this year.
Oh, I didn't go. Well, not this year. No, because the P&E hasn't opened yet this year. Any year.
Any year. Oh, of course. Yeah, man.
I grew up in West Point Grey, and we didn't have the bumper cars, but we did have the trolley buses. It's close.
I get a little mean on bumper cars. I take it really serious. I get on that and I
can see that.
I love to bump people.
I took my oldest daughter out to the P&E once and put her in the bumper cars. That's how she drives her truck now. She has SUV, SV, whatever it's called.
I've never seen a child that young in bumper cars before, though.
You haven't?
No, she's like only about 5 when you put her all by herself.
True. She's 85 now. She's getting old all the time.
But she looks good, though, for 85.
Not bad, not bad. So, Andrea, we're going to be back again together for Easter next weekend. You'll be having an open house, I'm sure. What's going on out there in the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, in the Tri-Cities, like we spoke about last week, I've got a beautiful listing that is on the market now with a private dock share. And lots of new homes, I hope, are coming on the market soon, so buyers will have more to choose from. So inventory is still really low. There's not many homes on the market. So, if you're thinking of selling, it's a great time now, for sure.
Any condos for sale, townhouses?
I've got the condo for sale out at UBC. Okay. So we just have a new price of $589 and getting lots of activities. All of a sudden,
is that higher than what you had before?
Lower. We just went down. We went down about 10,000, and so as a result, I've got a ton of calls. So I'm sure we'll get an offer soon there.
And what's your number? Somebody wants to call you.
Yeah, 604-783-3124. 604-783-3124.
And you have a website?
It's pinnaclegrouprem.com.
Again?
pinnaclegrouprealestatemarketing.com.
Yeah, Billy. Next weekend's Easter, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You bringing the food?
I love those O. Henry Easter eggs.
Oh, I love those O. Henry Easter eggs.
Oh, Henry?
Do you like those?
I like the ones that you get the little surprise.
The Kindle
inside.
thing?
Yeah.
Dwayne likes the chocolate Easter bunnies, and I like them too. And Dwayne and I have a fight to see who's going to eat the ears first.
Really?
Yeah.
You can have it this year.
No, you have them this year. I'm getting the tail.
Right.
Happy Easter. I'll see you next Sunday.
Absolutely, buddy.
See you next Sunday.
See you
Happy
Sunday.
Easter. And you, my friend, happy Easter, Dwayne.
Happy Easter.
Thanks for today, and thank you for listening to the Radio Real Estate Show. We'll see you Easter Sunday on CL Smooth and Easy 650.